Look at this pretty Head and Shoulders play, guys. I knew that shit was about to break. I couldn't be in here trading. Gorgeous Head and Shoulders. Gorgeous. Yep. Make sure everything's working correctly. Sorry about running late. All right. Just trying to get all my stuff situated here. To the moon. Come on. Hopefully we'll get some kind of pullback in a minute. We'll try to jump in. What's up, Ponzi? Dude, I had people over to the house, Methodical. I couldn't jump on. Dude, look at this beautiful Head and Shoulders that we just missed. Goodness. Beautiful, guys. Beautiful. Look at this little Head and Shoulders. Little shoulders. There's your head. Then just popped. We missed it. We missed it. We can maybe try long in a minute. We just got to wait for some kind of pullback. How have you been, Ponzi? Oh, another inside bar, huh? I don't know if we're going to take any more silver trades. All right. Might have to wait to hit that 50 before you get some kind of reversal here. Is that the 50? Dude, what are you talking about, Ponzi? We've been crashing for the last couple days, man. We done sold off like over what? Couple thousand points. I mean, we've been having like 800 point sell offs. It's been insane. It has been a pretty wild January going into February with this crazy volatility. Today was a very tough day to trade because of the size of the candles. Today made it so hard to trade that you would have had to have like 50 to 100 point stop loss. It made it so tough to trade. I got stopped out so many times. I mean, I took a bunch of wins. See, totally didn't just sell at the bottom and buy at the top. No, I was just talking about throughout the day, fish. The size of some of these 5-minute candles have been insane today. That you just had to have like massive stop loss. Been insane. Like I took a lot of 10-point winners, but I also took a losers on the sides because I wasn't going to justify having a 50, 60 point stop loss. I'd rather just take my stop loss and live with my little red. I feel like we're looking pretty good for a nice little long here. We just got to wait for a pullback on our candles. Kind of want to see the pullback to the 50 here. So we're pretty much just kind of trading off these hold numbers. How we just hit the 75. So we're going to see if we get that pullback to the 75 here for long, or 50 for long. Let me get my thing ready here. We're going to go to break even as soon as it hits that 80. Or we might even stay right below this just in case it comes back to the 50. We can always re-enter. Because I know we're heading into that 90 level. So you got to be kind of aware of trading up into the 90. What's up, Willie Willie? How are you doing? Might get stopped out. Yeah, the runners have been tough today, guys. Let's see if we get that. Let's see if we get that 50 pushback here. We kind of need it to pull back, hit the 50. Then we can maybe look for another long off of that, or even down into the 40 level. Let's see that. Dude, anything is possible, man. This has been some pretty wild. You got to be very cautious with the fundeds, outer. I'm just trading an eval. I only do eval at nighttime, guys. So please do not follow these if you're trading on an expensive eval. I'm trading with a $15 eval, so please don't use an expensive eval to trade. So if you got one of those like $70 to $150 evals, please do not follow. So what we're doing is just looking for 10 points in runners. So our runners are going to probably get stopped out a lot. So if we get tagged in at the 75 and get a pullback to the 50, we'll just add. Oh, it didn't fill me. Oh, I just got done dirty. What is that all about? Dude, you see that? It just went right through my order. It didn't even fill my 75 order. come on. What's up, Laughter? It says, I just finished let me see, another room. They are blaming the fun tonight. Insane price action tonight, guys. I'm not sure why I didn't get tagged in at the 75. I was trying to take a 75 order up to the 500. Yeah, I was trying to take a 75 long and look for 25 points up to the whole number. So we just hit and I'm not sure why it didn't tag me in. It went right through it. What about a lucky stop out? Oh, you were short? I'm not going to consider no shorts as long as my EMAs are moving up here. Now, maybe if you want to short off that here, maybe back down to 75. I would, and that sounds kind of enticing. We look for a 75 pushback. And use the 500 as our stop loss. Might just be too bullish, not even get the pushback to the 75. Right now, we are still in the green. I think we're up about $90 at the moment. And see, this could go up and hit the 10. So just don't want to get wicked in case we do get that pullback. This will be the last push here because above 10, it's probably going up to the 25 to the 50 here. Right. There comes the 10. Oh, it got us. Yeah, it just pretty much took our profit away there. Oh. Dude, any other time this thing would have pulled back to the what do you want to call it? The 50 or 75. Let's see. $5.43 should be a good short. Yeah, I think I'd heard Methodical Man say something about that over there too. That 540 area. Point stop loss. Oh, there's no way I could do that. Outer 100-point stop loss. That's pretty wild to me. All right, so that was the 25 back to the whole number. So let's see. That would have been your 25 points if you played 25 to 50. Of course, that worked and not the 500 to 75. Watch it now go back to the 75. Thank you guys for the likes and follows tonight. Sorry we got started a little late this evening. All right, let's see if we're going to get that pullback off that 50 level. I mean, really massive liquidity pull here. I mean, what time is it? So this might be one of these deals at the top of the hour we get the pullback here. So that's one thing I like about the nighttime. You get these really big liquidity sweeps, or these not liquidity sweeps, but these big trend line sweeps. We'll mark out that 43 level that Outer was talking about. Come on. Man, my... All right. We'll wait and see what happens with that 43 level and see if we do get that pullback. I really don't like the short unless it's kind of back below the 500. Outer, are you taking any trades tonight, or are you just kind of sitting on the sideline? We were up about $100 until we took that last trade, and it put us back down to $10. That's okay. Oh. Didn't quite get up there. That I'm not sure, Alex. I don't follow a lot of crypto, so aw, well that sucks, man. What is this about? Are you talking about these charts? These are the MNQs. So we're trading 25 accounts with micros, not 25K, but 25K accounts with Bulanox. So basically, you have about $1,500 in drawdown. We got some pretty wild movement. Nope, 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 nope. We don't copy trade accounts. I will, but it just seems like I do. I prefer just to kind of cycle through my accounts. So it's probably safer I do it that way. I'm hoping by the next week we can request a payout with Bulanox. Uh, we're $600 away from requesting a payout with Bulanox. We're at 53,000 right now, which is basically $3,000. And the closest Apex account I got, I think, is 700 away. So this could be a really good month, I hope. Yeah, we're at 700 on it, and you got to get to 1,600. So, yeah. Is that 800? Yeah, 800. Today was a really tough day, Michael. I'm not going to lie. It was super tough to find trades. The length of the candles were so massive that you couldn't have a decent stop loss. The stop, like, you could not enter a trade with a 20-point stop loss. You had to enter a trade with a 40-point stop loss, because what was happening, we were whipping so hard and so fast that you would just get your face ripped off with the 20-point stop loss. No, where's the 40 reversal? Hey man, does the stop loss has to be 100 points on the 43 reversal outer? All right, here's the 50. So let's see if we get the pullback to the 25 here. Uh-oh. Uh Targets 24 450. Woo, that's a long ways down there. Yeah, I wasn't going to get myself tagged into that. Lost today about $150. Goodness. Yeah, there's nothing worse than that happened on a live account there, Crawl. Come on, where's the 25 pullback? I'm just looking for the 25. That's all I care about. Yeah, I understand that. Finally green for the first time today. I thought I was supposed to. Uh-oh. Come on. Son of a bee. Come on, 25. I just want the 25 hit. That's all. Come on. A little bit more. There we go. Dude, did it not hit it? Fuck. Excuse my language. Damn it. It didn't hit. Watch it go now. That got stopped out here. Is that going to be another? All right, looking for 75 hit here. We're keeping a very tight range on this stuff. Dude, the second time we've hit our. Damn it. The second time I didn't hit my target. Dirty, dirty, dirty pool, mister. Basically, we're just looking for 10 points, guys. A lot of times, what it is, we'll hit the whole numbers. Didn't quite get that 75 push, may get the 75 push, but I just don't feel like sitting through a lot of drawdown. The volatility is just insane, guys. And I'm just not going to get my face ripped off. So I'm looking for a quick 10 points and getting out of the trade. Maybe this is the 25 pullback. Been waiting for that 25 pullback here. Maybe this will be the 25 target here. Excuse me. I mean, we're very, very bullish at the moment. So what we might have to do is just wait for us to kind of pull back, hit the 50. I still feel like we need to pull back and hit that 25 level. Or at least retest the 30 here. Remember, guys, we're trading on a cheap eval. Gone, we are trading micros on a 25K. Right now, we are $3 in the red because of fees. So, man, there's a lot of room to the downside. Thank you guys for the likes and follow this evening. Right now. Oh, you had some luck this afternoon on Bitcoin. Did Bitcoin finally start kind of coming back around? Looks like maybe we want to roll over. Well, I don't know. We didn't push. You would have to have this candle get below this candle here, below the 40. If it can't push that 40 level, we're moving back up to the top side. Send a $60,000 range. Man. Oh yeah, definitely the life of the scalper over here. We're definitely scalping our eval this evening. All right, well, it looks like we're about to break that 40. If we break that 40, we should get a nice push back to the downside. But if it can't break it, that's can get me uptown here. Still did not break. that wick. Still did not break the 40s here. Outer, you still short from 43, 42 area? All right, we just broke that 40 level. I got to wait for the 30 level, the 25 first before we even consider jumping in here. I don't want to jump in and that thing gets just stopped here at the 30. We got to see, we have that big wick sitting there at 35. There's your first wick. Second wick's going to be there at the 30. We're waiting to see if the 25-30 area is going to hold before we consider longs. If we can push back down and get through this next set of wick here at the 30s, you should get a clean push all the way down to the back into the lower 500s. I mean, this is a nice little bull flag here. Time is it? 15? I mean, definitely feel like we're due for a sell off. All right, here's that 25 push. This is kind of what we're waiting for, the 25 to get hit here. Mm. Just being patient, waiting here. Oof. Said to be patient and wait for the breakout. This price action is insane. Runner got hit. All right, we're going to take that back down to 2 micros. I mean, I feel like we got more to move up because we broke that trend line. Just I mean, that's usually your long right there once we broke that. We got about 40 seconds left for a new 5-minute candle. It might be safer just to wait for that new 5-minute candle and see if we start a new trend here. Because this could just be your new leg right here. And so your stop loss would be down there. $20. Wow, this thing just fake a bunch of folks out. Got some pretty wild price action this evening. Don't really want to lose too much more to the 30s to 20s if you're considering a long. Sounds good, Jake. Have a good night. It just hit your lows. Oh, it just hit the New York lows. Is that what that was up there? I thought I had that. I thought I had that on my. Oh, the New York lows is down there. The previous day lows down at 24,407. This thing's gonna make us try long again. If it prints, it has to print. Waiting for a candle to print here. If we print back up there above the 50s, we're going to look for long. Print back below the 30s here. I guess we're looking for shorts. Maybe we can look for like a pull back into the lower 500s. Oh, man. New York lows is a long ways down there. It's scary shorting into that 25 level, though. I just can't pull the trigger on shorting into the 25 or the whole number here, guys. The only way I can short into the whole number, we would have to hit the 10 to 500s, pull back, then look for shorts. Are you in a position right now? Yee? Or did that hit? 20. I'm looking for a bounce off the 500s here. So for shorts, we need to see it hit the 500, push back up into the 20s, then coming back down. That would be a more of a short type price action for myself. Because right now we still look super bullish. Maybe. Looks like it's trying to roll over. Nope. Right now, we're just kind of bouncing back and forth, guys. So we kind of have to just be patient and wait for some kind of like, kind of got to get, like I said, for the shorts, you kind of have to go down there and retest the 500 level and get a pullback because it's very difficult to take a first initial short into a whole number. I would prefer to take the long up to like 75 or even 600 before we took the short into the 500s without some kind of pullback. Ooh, it's tempting to take the long here. Just don't want to jump in too early. Might get smacked on this one. Holy goodness. Yep. My two micros just got hammered. Very, very choppy price action right now, guys. Yeah, stop loss is supposed to be down there for 520. I mean, that's kind of the long we were looking for a while ago. We're about to have a new 5-minute candle. Here's a new 5-minute candle. Just an hourly. Oh, it's a 30-minute candle at the top of the hour. Whoo, insane, guys. Insane price action this evening. What a nasty brand new 5-minute candle. Might have to wait to get out of this zone. Either that or we need to run this previous 5-minute candle at the 20. Don't want to get trapped in here at the bottom of this range. Just kind of being patient and waiting to see whenever we break out of this consolidation area. So right now we're just kind of chopping sideways. So just kind of wait and see which side of the box is going to win. I mean, I'm still long biased. I just feel like, man, we just been moving up nonstop, but we may get the pullback here. I don't know. Oh no, no. We're not trading anything that matters this evening, Z. We're trading a 25K eval. So nothing that we only trade funded accounts during the I'm just focused on my charts. I'm looking at like two different charts, so I'm like my eyes are kind of going back and forth. Between the charts and my I have 3 chats that I have to watch too. There's the long. There's the long. Nice. Yeah, in the evenings we usually only, like I said, trade evals. During the daytime, we actually had a pretty good day trading our accounts today. We started off a little in the red, but we were able to kind of bring it back. So here's my accounts from today that we traded. These are all funded accounts except this one right here. This is the one I'm trading at the moment. Today I pretty much had to switch over to looking for 10 points. I got stopped out. Trust me, I did get my fair share of stop outs today because I usually keep a fairly tight stop loss. Most of the time, my stop loss is between 10 and 20 points, but today it was super tough to hold on to that. I remember hitting like 20-point moves today. Like it would happen so fast that you didn't even got time to react. It was just insane today. A lot you could have easily got wrecked really bad today. All right, here's this 75. I want to see a pullback to the 50 level, then you can possibly long again off the 50 level. Oh. I don't know if I'm able to get there in time. I want to see this hit the 50. All right. If the 50 doesn't hold, we won't leave our trade on here. Now you're kind of looking for a play back up to the 75 or even the whole number up at 600. And that's if the 50 level holds. Now, this is just 2 micro, guys. I do not go in heavy on most of these trades. Most of the time, we're just trading 2 micros. Two to 3 micros. So I do get stopped out quite a bit because, like I said, I keep a very tight stop loss on most of my trades. I'd rather take my small loss than just look for another entry. Unless I go in with 1 micro, you might be able to level back in. So, like, you would go down to the 25 and DCA back into this trade. So we may get stopped out on this one. All right, looks like we're about to get stopped. All right. So since we're just trading a 25K, we only usually trade 2 or 3 micros at a time. And I usually let you guys know that because I know some of you guys are probably trading expensive evals. You got to think I'm trading a Bulenox eval that I paid $15 for. If you want to trade with me during the New York session, usually we're a lot more careful with our funded accounts. But with evals, we're a lot more aggressive. So what it is with Bulenox, I'm trying to build up my funded accounts with those guys. You can have 3 funded accounts. So every time I pass a eval, I don't have to pay to fund it. It'll just sit there until I get my funded accounts to buffer. So basically you can pay $15 and build up, $15 per account to build up your evals or funded. Oh, this thing about to do me dirty to go back up. They're stopping me out. I don't know. Well, we have this swing level. We got equal highs sitting there at the 80s. So I can see it rerunning these 80s. It's Husk, but they don't have they don't have any sales going on. I don't really recommend buying them right now. Hopefully tomorrow they'll get a code going because right now they're like 45% off, and that's pretty pricey. I wouldn't buy it unless it's at least 80% off. 80 between 90%. To me, that's the only way it's somewhat affordable. I can't imagine because you got to think. I only like Bulenox because they don't have those strict rules like everybody else. So you can over leverage. You can have big drawdowns. It don't really matter. So the only thing that they enforce is that 40% consistently. Because for some reason, I always find myself breaking the APEC rules. So I haven't got my last couple payouts with Apex because I'm bad. I constantly break the Apex rules. So I'm kind of trying to not really get away from Apex, but trying to use more Bulanox funded accounts, because with those guys, they don't enforce their rules like Apex does. Like, there's no telling how many times I broke rules with my 50K over here with Bulanox. This account here. See, we're up 53,000 in this funded account here. So we're strictly going to stick to 2 and 3 micros for that last $600 on this. That way, this way we don't, if we do take a loss, it's not too devastating. So closest account back to kind of close to getting a payout with Apex. I want to say, I think I have like $700 in one of the accounts. Let's see. Oh, this one. It's a 25K. We're up $699. And we're kind of slow rolling that one, where we just usually try to make anywhere between like $50 to $150 a day. That's usually kind of the goal we look for when we're trading this. Did not run this previous high, so maybe this is finally the push back down. I know Outer in our other lobby over here, I want to say he's been short since the 40s over here, looking for 24,440 or 450. So maybe this will be our short right here finally. Print. I'm gonna go to break even fast because I'm on top of a 50 EMA on my charts. All right, first target hit. I'm sorry. Why didn't that register? Am I on the wrong account? Oh, never mind. I actually took that on a micro. Woo, holy shit. Scary. Scary. That was almost a big mistake. Let's see. No, I'm not to the point in my trading journey where I'm consistent, Cameron. And that's only because sometimes I'll spend a long time. So a lot of times in the past, say for a while, I was struggling to trade my funded accounts. So my goal starting last month was to trade my funded accounts no matter what. Yeah, if you like that was one of the biggest hurdles I had to get over, was the not fearing trading fundeds and not stressing about losses. Losses is part of trading. You just have to get used to it. That is usually a tough thing to do. get used to taking your losses. If you can kind of have the right risk management, it's not that bad. But I also only trade on a few micros too. So I try not to I just over leveraged right there by accident. That's okay. We don't care. Luckily, it was an eval. Whew, that could have been a big mistake too. All right, about to have a new 5-minute candle. How much time do I usually put in at a time currently? I don't know, man. I'm on the charts a lot. I'm not going to lie. I spend a lot of times on the charts. You got to think, I'm usually on the charts from like 7 o'clock in the morning till 11, 12 o'clock. Oh, I'm trading with prop firms, Cameron. So it's a fixed amount. So the account that I'm trading now, it only costs me $15. Now the funded accounts, like all these different, like I'm logged into what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got 6 funded on here at the moment. And those are ranged from like 60 to 150, depending on who you're buying them with. But like I said, I'm only $600 away from requesting $1,000 payout. So hopefully we'll get that next week. Next week's going to be hopefully the goal to get that. Then hopefully if I can stay good with this Apex account and not break any rules, we should get that one hopefully next month. I just think it depends on what kind of fits your trading style. With Apex, they're a little bit more stricter with their rules. I like Bulinox because they're not very strict with their rules. The only thing Bulinox really enforces is the 40% rule, where like if you had a 50K, the most you can make is like $1,000 a day or $1,200 a day. The one thing that gets me with Apex is their drawdown rule. So especially if you're over leveraged, like if you're trading a mini, you'll break Apex rule with just a 20-point pullback because you're only allowed like a $400 of drawdown if you're trading on the 50K or 25Ks. So you definitely can't over leverage. You can't really full port. I think I broke that rule once before too, where I went in with 3 minis and they'll take all your profit away. So they took all my profit away from that account. So you just got to make sure you follow their rules if you want to get their payouts. But if you do break a rule and if it's not too bad, they just reset the trading days. So every time you break a rule, they reset the 8-day trading days. So it takes 8 $50 days for Bulinox, at least $50. I'm not Bulinox, Apex, and they'll just reset that is what they do. But Apex is, I don't know about some of the larger people getting payouts, but if you're just doing the $500 to $1,000 payouts each time, they're usually pretty good about those. And so is Bulinox. There's one guy in my Discord, I think he just got a $2,000 payout from Apex last week. But being new, like Take Profit Trader's a really good one that I like, but not if I'm new because it's a lot more money up front. I would rather spend less money up front than spend more money on the back end whenever I get better at passing evals. So I don't ever recommend expensive evals for people trading that's new, because I mean, you're more likely going to blow that expensive eval that you just drop what, $80 to $100 on. Even though it's a one-time cost, I'd rather spend 15 to 20 bucks than, you know, it's a lot less nerves on the table too. It allows you to trade and be comfortable, because the more money you got on the line, the more nervous you're going to be. You know, because I used to be the same way. Like, your heartbeat to be pounding, your hands may be shaky, or whatever most people go through psychology, you know, in their head whenever they're trading. Then you'll have to go through the whole revenge trading. That's usually very tough too. Can't live with the red day. That gets a lot of people. That's gotten me my fair share of times, not being able to live with the red day. Yeah, we're just kind of just chopping back and forth. Truth. Oh yeah, a while ago on my other charts, I actually had it on minis, so that's how we ended up with that. I thought I was entering with 2 micros, and I entered with 2 minis. So we got lucky there. I don't know what it is lately. I've been making so many mistakes. I've been trading the wrong accounts. I did that this morning. I was trying to trade my one funded accounts, the one I had the most money in, and I ended up trading a new funded account with no money on it. And I think we ended up making like 115 on that funded account this morning. I'm not really sure why. I can hear myself fine because I have myself on the YouTube channel, so I can hear myself. I think you're the only one that had said they couldn't hear me tonight, Truth. I know if I turn my amp up too high on my mic, it'll like it'll be not static, but it like muffles. It'll be like a muffle, like overly loud, like kind of like when someone puts their mouth on top of a microphone and talk into it. Maybe this is the push back down here, guys. You're in short? Nice. I'm about to look for a short if this candle prints here. Where are you short from, Candle? Give me a minute, Cameron, and I'll put the Discord link in there. I think it'll let me paste something. Let's see. Yeah, it'll let me paste. And yeah, just give me a minute and I'll paste it in there. Print. Oh, you're on the ES? Okay, nice. I wish I had the patience for the ES. The ES would be so much more relaxing to trade than the nasty girl NQ over here. She will rip your face off and take all your money so quickly. The nasty girl. We're waiting for a candle to print here. So The NQ burnt you. Yeah. I do. That's why I'll take my stop loss in a heartbeat on the NQ. I don't care. I'll take my 10-point stop loss. Mostly all my trades are 2 to 3 micros. I'll give away 40 to 60 bucks. Not even think about it. Because I know that very next trade you can get the 100-point move and get it all back and some on one trade. So that's a good thing about the NQ. They're just one big trade right around the corner. One big trade. Like, I think we finished off today with I want to say a 60 or 70 point trade at the end, that lunchtime reversal. So we were able to catch that lunchtime reversal this evening. Got about 30 seconds left on this 5-minute candle. If we break the 30s, we should get another push down into the lower 500s. I mean, your stop loss, if you want to have the right stop loss, if you do short this, the stop loss has to be back up there above this swing. And that swing for me is about 55. All right, so we're now starting a new 4-hour candle. That's what this little white box you see. And an hourly candle. So we should get a push here, being a new hourly candle. I mean, that's a really big trend line buildup right there. I've noticed about nighttime, it likes creating these little trend line breaks, it seems like. I see that a lot in the nighttime. Oh, damn it. I missed the trade. Holy goodness, we just got popped on that one super quick. Yeah, I was wondering if we were going to do that. We got tons of profit in this account, guys. Remember, we ended up, we're up 478 because of that mini from a while ago. So tons of profit. And this is a eval, guys. Remember, I said I don't really recommend following these eval trades if you got an expensive account. I mean, this looks kind of bullish to me since it's breaking this trend line here. Break back above the 45s, break back above the 50s, you should get a push. This is we're just in 3 micros. we're going to kind of, we hit that first take profit. We're going to go to break even. I don't want to risk too much on this in case it yanks back on me. So just kind of being cautious here. Yep. That's the only thing I hate about nighttime. You just don't really get that good follow through. It's always 5 points pullback, 5 points pullback. It seems like they did that a lot. What is that, Matt? Bro, I didn't trade my tops there for a month. Oh, that sucks. That happens to me on Bulanox too. If you don't trade their account at least once a week, they'll close it. Ugh. I'm trying not to go to break even too fast because it'll just come back and stomp me out. Damn it. I didn't. Oh shoot! I didn't realize that we were that close to a 5-minute candle, guys. I wasn't watching. That's not a good sign. Let's see. Let me see if this will hold or not. A lot of times, if you lose the 40s, it's probably going back down. So your 40s probably your line in the sand here. So that was the 38% of the candle. So that's good so far. But once you start losing 50% of your previous 5-minute candle, we're probably going to have a deeper pullback. Yeah, we just lost 50% of it. So that's going to get stopped out. Yeah, if you ever want to know that if you're going to lose or the candles on there, if you start looking at that 50% pullback, is most of the time if you lose 50% of that candle, you're going to get stopped out. We're still 400 in the green so far. Like I said, we ended up making a lot off that mini while ago and that was a mistake. Oh man. For about 2 years, consistently 2 years. You know, I've gone through all the same stuff that most people go through, the ups and downs, you know, changing strategies, trying to find something that works. I still like the upside here because I figure we have like 7 candles of trend line. I still feel like we push up here. I haven't been trading the nighttime very long angle or angel. So I've only been doing the London or the Asia market probably consistently since December or the first week of December around that Thanksgiving time. So I still struggle a little bit at this time of the night, but usually I try to let people know so that anybody doesn't follow these trades. So, because I know you cannot trade this the same way that you trade the here comes the long, that dirty girl. The dirty girl did me dirty. Come on. That's what I get for not having my stop loss where it needs to be. We got equal highs sitting up there at what, 75, 80. That is one thing about trading night, man. You got to have your stop loss in the right place because it's always constantly coming up, down, up, down, up, down with the stop loss. So the correct way to have my stop loss should have been here at the swing. Or actually, no, the swing is probably here. But that's too big of a stop loss for me. I don't really care to risk that much. And I do take a little bit more like stops outs on my evals. So if I'll repeat that over and over that I'm trading evals, guys. So this is my first time. Probably Mutsy. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right, but just a lot of chart time. Just get used to whatever you're trading. So the more you're able to watch charts and just kind of get used to the same patterns that kind of happen over and over, and also like, find whatever strategy works for yourself, because almost everybody here is probably trading a different way. Like I like to trade breakouts most of the time and support and resistance. A lot of support and resistant type trading. I like to trade off like the previous day close, the previous day low, if we break those, and also the previous highs and lows of the different sessions. Like from the Tokyo session, and give you an idea here. I'll show you. So what it is, we're running into the PM session low. So if you're able to catch this long here, most of the time you can almost target to low of the previous session. So this may be the high for the Tokyo session for us to sell back down, because look at all these wicks that we have here. So, and this could be possible targets tomorrow morning or even in the London session, depending on what kind of price action we get in the London session, which I don't usually know. I still work and I have a real estate extra that I make extra money off of too. So just have multiple streams of income. I don't think I would want to put that stress on myself to try to do this for a living. At least not right now at this myself in this time of the journey where I'm at in my trading journey. Most of the time, people that's trading for a living, they've been trading probably for 5 or 10 years. If, not saying everybody, but probably most of those guys that have been trading that long. Because you'll spend your first 1 to 3 years of just, mistakes after mistakes after mistakes. Then with affiliates, I'm a very small YouTuber compared to a lot of the other people. So most of the time with affiliate money, I probably make anywhere between $300 to $500 a month. So it doesn't accumulate to a lot compared to how many hours I probably put on YouTube and TikTok. Yeah, be careful with the longs here. I didn't realize that we were, until I brought this down, I wasn't paying attention. I didn't realize that we were constantly bumping into the New York PM low along with the AM low. So be extra careful with the loans. I feel like it's going to take a lot to get through this. And most of my morning trades, so how I trade the morning time, I like taking the opening range trade. That's like my favorite trade to take because it's super fast, super quick. This morning was a little bit difficult because it was. I actually took back to back losses up here because that 20 level was kind of my long area, and we just kept running to resistance after resistance. But we were able to catch a lot of this big move to the downside. So every one of these squares represents a hourly candle. And a lot of times what we're doing is we're looking for the 50% pullback for a pre. So I'm pretty sure this is going to be 50% of this hourly candle here. Right at the pretty much right into discount at the 61.8 before we sold off. Then a lot of times I'll use the 15-minute candle as my entry. So now this 15 minutes from 9 o'clock to 8:15 does pay breakouts. You could have took this on both sides this morning. So we had to break out to the upside for what, almost 100 points to the upside. Then for the downside, we at 29 all the way down to what? Another 100 points to the downside. Yeah. So insane volatility this morning. So like I said, this is usually how we find our entries in the morning. We always look for a 50% pullback into the previous hourly candle. So this is a 4-hour candle, and that probably hit almost on top of that 4-hour candle. So this way you're able to see this without constantly switching over. Yeah, 9 Eastern. This is a 4-hour, a 1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour. So then you know that this is going to be the low of your 4-hour candle, and this is going to be the high of this 4-hour candle, and this is the 15 minutes. So I usually use that to kind of determine which way that I'm probably going to take my entry for my breakout trade in the morning. This was probably the first morning this week that I took well, no, I take that back. I did take that first 100-point move up, but I took it on the wrong account. And I tried to take a second trade, and that's when I got red. If we break through the 25s here, we should get a push down here. But at 25, a lot of times, if you like to play the whole numbers, we could hit this 25 and bounce all the way back up there to the 50 also. But I fear we don't hit this 25 multiple times, so I'm hoping that we finally break through. Oh, it's so close. We're at I see. I didn't realize that we were at a 21 EMA. Here's the 25. Want to see it push all the way down to the 25K, or, the 500 here. Yeah. All right. Let's see. So what you want to do with the fib, you always want to pull wherever it hit first. So this one, it hit the top first, and then you want to pull the bottom. So here's your top, and pull to the bottom. Then you can kind of see that we finally got the back into discount on this leg here. So we hit the top first there on the 4-hour candle. So we also had a 50% pullback on that 4-hour candle this morning too. Let's see, this is the 4-hour, right? Yeah, 4-hour. So this 1-hour candle pulled back into the 50% of this 4-hour candle also. And a lot of times that's what I'm looking for whenever we're trading in the morning. Because a lot of times if you get the pullback, then he's like, okay, that it's probably not going any higher that, and then you can look for a short on the opposite side, and you would take your short as it's probably popping out of this 15-minute candle over here is usually what I'm doing. Let's see, I can show you an example. So that would have been, wasn't this morning. This morning was super tough, guys. See. I'm trying to find it. Insane sell off. I was trying to find the example for this, and no. I might have the wrong charts. Maybe this wasn't the one. I'm sorry. I was looking for, where are we at now? No, I'm pretty sure that's, Okay, I must have the wrong ones, guys. Oh well. I tried to find it. It was a little on the difficult side. All right. Do we get stopped out here? That would have been one day ago, maybe? Yeah, I think it's this one. Yeah, it was this one. So this would have been your opening for the day. If you see the purple line, that's the 50% of this hourly candle. So what it is, I'm looking for this hourly candle to hold because I already have the 50% marked out. And so what it is, as soon as I realize that that 50% is going to hold, we're already looking for a short, and I'll go and put my short on here and we'll start dragging it up. And so then we're looking for this candle to come back out through the bottom of this 15-minute candle. So what it is, this one blue line is the 50% of this 15-minute candle. And what it is, I didn't want to get short because you want to make sure it goes through that 15 minutes, because a lot of times you'll get a push up. It'll pull back 50 to the 50% line of this 15-minute candle, then go back up. So you got to make sure you're under that 50% to make sure you get that continuous short there. But I was short biased anyway. You can see all the consolidation that we had here yesterday morning, and there was more consolidation over here. But this is just an example how I pretty much do the opening trade. This morning was a little bit on the tough sides because of the size of the candles. This morning was super tough to kind of trade that this morning. So we're waiting for it to break this 50%. It broke the 50%, so we went in and dropped our order. And I was going to play the top of this 15-minute candle for my stop loss. As you can see, we kind of pull back into that mid-range of the 15 minutes. Was trying to keep from getting stopped out because it was whipping pretty hard. It's pretty tough sometimes to trade the opening because it's just whipping so fast. And see, I don't have a take profit on my orders when I'm trading them. I'm looking for either whole number targets. So like this one, I traded off the 300 level was going to be my take profit. So and that's pretty much what we do whenever we trade the open. You can see this thing ended up dumping like another freaking 100 points. So we left a lot on the table. But by then, all you can do is sit there and watch. You can't jump in. So that's kind of what I like to trade. That's my favorite time to trade, is that New York opening. And it took me a while to really find something that worked for me. What's up, Myth? Oh, yeah. You like that little backdoor action, didn't you, on that trade? That was the yesterday's opening methodical. We did that little backdoor action. Oh, goodness. We just didn't want to place an order and be, ground and pound. I'd much rather, hop in there a little bit early. Dude, this could be the top right here, methodical. We're bouncing off we're pretty much bouncing off the previous day New York low and the PM low right here at the 75, 73. So it's probably going to take quite a bit to get through this. Dude, I accidentally took a mini trade with micros a while ago. Boy, we're still making mistakes. We've been like mistake heavily lately. So we ended up getting up $400 by trading some minis by accident. I'm sitting here thinking I'm in 2 micros, not even paying attention to the money because it's an eval. Have you ever heard of the EM levels? No, I've never. I don't know what that is. Now I might know what it is if you. Maybe I don't know what the abbreviation stands for. Oh, you use them with the fib? Then no, I don't know anything about that with the fib. The only thing I use for the fib basically is I use the fib on larger 5-minute candles for a continuous. If we're going to continue higher, because I like to enter off 5-minute candles. So if we have a big, say, 25 to 50 point 5-minute candle, and you only have like a small pullback of like 20 to 40%, I'm going to be long bias. But if it gets into the 60 and 70%, it's a little on the iffy side for me. Now the whole moves, you kind of hear that called the golden pocket between that 60 and 70% pullback. So like this leg here, I think we're having a hard time just getting back below the 40%. So, I mean, this is still showing very bullish if we can't get any deeper than 40% of this leg. So most of the time, if you stay between that 20 and 40%, the bulls are still in control. I also have some videos on my page if you are interested in using the Fibonacci, or maybe you've used it but not sure how to set it up the way you want it. I got mine kind of custom to like different colors where, it's easy to kind of pick out my 60 to 70%. It's usually green to yellow. Then my fib that we use on TradingView, a little bit bigger and bulkier. Sometimes I feel like the candles on TradingView are a lot different than the ones on Ninja. Look how much more cleaner these look compared to the ones on Ninja. I don't know what that is. I mean, they're both 5-minute charts. I don't understand why. Oh, maybe these candles are fatter. Maybe that's what it is. The candle width is smaller on these. Or maybe, yeah, it's because I have it scrunched in a little too far. It's just spread out. Never mind. Never mind. There you go. That still looks like a lot more candles, though. Be careful if you're taking longs. It's going to take a lot to get through those 70s up here. We'll probably stay on just a few more minutes because we're gonna be back trading again at 8-9 o'clock in the morning. So sorry if I missed any questions, guys. No, mostly just on the 5 minutes as far as using the fib on. I mean, you can go over to the, hourly candle or the 4-hour candle and pull fib. A little messy here because everything's all kind of scrunched up together. Let's see. We only had one 4-hour candle so far this morning. We're making lower highs, so maybe this could be a breakout tomorrow. You don't realize how many little lines that you put on here until you go to a higher time frame. Yeah, we got a really nice 4 hour trend line level going, for anybody that likes to trade off trend lines. Let's see. Yeah. So could be a nice push back up tomorrow, unless we get this big push here during the overnight session and London session. Maybe a push back up into the 25,000s. I mean, we've been getting crazy movement, so anything's possible. Uh, Dude, I only need tomorrow. Well, I'm not gonna get it tomorrow, but we need like $450 more to pass this eval. And that will be my last eval. Hopefully Apex comes out with some kind of discount, guys, so that it won't be too expensive to pick up another eval. Let's see. Like I said, guys, we're getting ready to probably get off the stream. So we've got on here about 8:30 and it's 10:30. So we've been on for the last 2 hours, and we're planning, like I said, being back at 9 o'clock in the morning. Thank you guys for the likes and follow. And like I said, we will be back to do that opening trade. And so the ATR that we use on that, it's usually 3 micros. This is usually 20 points, which is $80. So we look for a quick $80 with the 2 micros, and then we look for unlimited amount, whatever target that we can kind of pick out for that last runner. So lately we've been getting somewhere between $100 to $200 per trade on the opening trade, except this morning. I think the first initial trade, I think we got 115. Where's my Discord there? That was this one here, 119. So 119 was the opening trade we got this morning. Then, like I said, we kind of took 2 back-to-back losses, but with the big move down, we were able to capitalize back on it. So we was able to pick up a couple big moves back to the downside. Go ahead and save this. All right, guys. Thank you guys for watching this evening. Remember, guys, most of the time if I say I'm on evals, I do take smaller losses. It doesn't bother me to take a 10 to 20 point loss with a couple micros. Now, that's a little bit more difficult if you're going in over leverage. So just be aware of that if you are looking at the same trades I'm looking at, because sometimes we do get pullbacks, and it's a little bit more difficult to hold those if you're in, over leverage. Oh man, I almost want to jump back in short here. I feel like we pushed down to the 475s and 450s here. We've already had 100 push, so you would think that we could possibly get down to the 90s here. Let's see. This is just 2 micros. Yeah, somebody was short a while ago from on the ES. Who was that? Candle dealer. He was short on the ES. We should get that first target. Then after that, I'm not sure. Because we could get held up at the 500 here. We have a 502 swing, so we should at least hit that swing. Now this thing could pop all the way back up, so gotta be cautious. Usually it takes a lot to get through the 310s or the 10s through the 90s. Long reversal, head and shoulders. There was a big head and shoulders earlier today. Uh, yeah. Uh-oh. Did you see this head and shoulders that we had right here? All right, we're going to take some off this because this thing could rip back up off this 90 level, guys. Go long. Well, I'm already in short. All right, this is probably going to go back up to the 510s at least. Oh, I'm sorry. Didn't I have that on? Sorry. I forgot I changed accounts with that one. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry. You could anticipate a bounce here off the 75 or 90 area. Gold is dumping too. We got a minute and a half left on this candle, so I feel like we still got plenty of time to push. We have this gap fill in down at the 40s, so you would think that we're heading back down to the 40s here. Either that or we're going to bounce really hard off this 75 level. Come on, just 10 more points. Yeah, see, this 75, it could bounce all the way back up to the 500 here. There's the 75 rejection. And we got 20 seconds away from a 5-minute candle, a new 5-minute candle. What's up? Oh, yeah, it's all good, Joseph. We're eval trading anyway, so this is a very cheap eval from Beulah Knox that's like $15. So hey guys, like I said, this thing could push all the way back up to the 500 here before it drops back down. For anybody that likes to trade whole numbers. So what it is, you would have had a resting order sitting at 75. You would have been tagged in at 75, looking for a play back up here to the 500. So if this thing goes up in here, it's the 75, you could probably look for another short if it hits the 500 and holds. Comes the 500. Let's see if it holds or not. Didn't quite get there. You're freezing? Didn't quite get to the... That 500 level will be my line in the sand too, guys. Try to give it a little room. Don't want to give it too much. Actually, we'll just risk 5-6 points. That's the only thing I hate about this nighttime, man. This wicking back and forth is insane. Okay. I guess we're going to risk the full 40 at the 500s. We're still up quite a bit on this account. So we're up 484 at the moment. So we have plenty of profit to risk here. I'm just trying to keep from getting wicked out is what we're doing. See if this holds here. We're about to have a new candle print. Damn it. I don't want to see that print. That's going to be bad. Don't want to see that print. All right. I'm going to see if I can DCA back into this. We're about to have a new 5-minute candle too. So we got 30 seconds left. No. I thought this area here would maybe save us. We got 5 seconds, 10 seconds left for a new candle. Oh, no. Let me see how much we're down. Shouldn't be down too much. What, $60? All right, so we're about to get stopped out on our 2 micros, guys. All right, so close. That'll be my line in the sand there. Let's see how much we're down. 60, $80 at the moment. Like I said, we don't go way over leverage, guys. Most of our trades are between 1 to 2 micros. And you can make a lot of money off just trading a few micros. This way, if you do take losses, they're not like devastating losses. But that'll be my line in the sand. I won't risk any more after this. If this doesn't get a deeper pullback here on for us. I don't think this thing's going to survive too many more pullbacks, though. It's going to just constantly pull back, then it'll finally just kind of blast through this. There she goes. This other candle was so close to printing over here. It's going good, son. All right, that's going to be my last trade. We're just going to hold on to the profit that we have tonight. So we're just going to finish, instead of spending closer to $500, we're just going to have to settle for the $388. So that means we'll still have to make another $500 to pass this eval. And the good thing with Bulenox, guys, once you get your 3 funded accounts, you can start stacking fundeds just to kind of just sit there. So what they do is you get your 3 mastered accounts, then they just sit under pending. So they'll just be sitting there. So you can stack up to 10 funded accounts with Bulenox. And right now, usually Bulenox is the cheapest evals. Usually they're like $15, but that's what they were for the last 2 weeks. But right now they don't really have a sale going on, so we'll have to wait for another sale. Hopefully they'll start another sale before we finish this account. This way we can pick up one more to start. All right, guys. Thank you guys for watching today or this evening. Yes, this is a futures YouTube or YouTube on the micros. We're trading small accounts, so we can't really trade over 1 or 2 micros just because it'll just devastate your account if you're over leveraged. So that's why mostly every trade you see me take is just 2 micros. 2 to 3 micros usually max. So like that last trade that we lost $80 on that last trade with the 2 micros. Like I said, I mean, micros add up quick, even just with 10 or 20 point losses. But it's a lot easier to handle a $40 to $80 loss compared if you were trading on minis, where what a 20 point loss with one mini is $400. So that's pretty devastating for a 25K account. That's almost 40% of your drawdown. You just won 1,011 with 43 contracts, Christian. What are you trading 43 contracts on, man? That's like 4 minis. Or is that's 43 micros, hopefully, right? That is insane. Oh my goodness. That is insane. I was like, put it in and put it out. That's pretty wild. 43 micros. That's pretty good, Christian. uh, if I tried to go in with 43 micros, my count would just be blown out the door. So we try not to do that. I'm not saying we haven't never done it, but we try not to. It usually don't work very well for myself. It ends up just going against me. Then I find myself starting over. I hope I don't get like that different mind change of myself. Like for some reason, it seems like anytime you get close to payout, it seems like I find myself getting more nervous to take trades. And I just got to make sure I don't do that because I've done that in the past. So like right now, I need like $600 more to request $1,000 payout with Bulanox. So I'm hoping we can get that in the next week and a half or two, or at least by the end of February. It's going to be the push, I hope. I'm hoping that we can just make that 80 to 100, between that 80 and $200 a day, and hopefully we'll get it next week. But then there's on that other end, you can kind of go on a losing streak and, keep pushing yourself back farther and farther away from your goal. All right, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Be careful if you're going to be trading the rest of the night. The market's pretty crazy volatile. A lot of volatility in the market right now. If you're taking longs, there's a lot of resistance up here around the 70 level. That's this area that we pointed out to you a while ago. This up here. So be weary of longs above the 50 to 66. Now, if you can break through this area, it may try to get through, but there's just so many wicks and big candles in this area. So it's going to take probably quite a bit to get through these areas. Thank you, Michael. You too. Did you say, what did you go in 43 contracts on? Did you do that with the all micros? Or were you just constantly adding to it? Okay. So you were DCAing into the move, right? Is that what you're meaning by when you were adding to it? You just kept adding? Okay, so you were DCAing. So okay. Nice. That's a lot of DCA in 43 contracts. I'm not gonna lie, that is a lot. It wouldn't take much to blow up your account with 4 minis. What, 4 minis, 10 points? What is that? I mean, heck, $400. Yeah, $400 for 10 points, $800 for 20. Yeah, so you'll wreck your account quick. I was like tick 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 on my mouse as it hit up to 43. Yeah, that's pretty wild. You're like borderline full porting when you get up into that 4 mini range. All right, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Like I said, I need to walk away so I can try to get sleep because we'll be back in the morning for the opener. Thank you guys.